we're going to do an interesting RAV Tzaddok on the Parsha. He actually discusses something which seems a little interesting. The Haftarah discusses David's old age, and his son Adoniyo decided that he wants to take over the kingship, and he made a whole feast. Nasan's Navi and Bathsheba came, and they said, well, what about Shlomo Melech? Seems a bit of a non sequitur here. I mean, what does it have to do with the Parsha? Like a little bit, yeah, Yishmael died, whatever this one, that one, people died. It's not so, right, Adam died, whatever, fine, okay, seems a little, interesting. It doesn't even say anyone died here. Preparing for his death, and Sarah, of course, died, but we're preparing. It's not a. If it had said David died, it said David Melech Chayei V'Kayim. What did it have to do with it? In old age, he needed someone to warm him up. He was already older, and what happened in his old age? We didn't really see so much. Nice. You look around, you see it doesn't seem to be so. What does it have to do with anything? It's really interesting. No. The whole parsha here, Eliezer, Rivka, and all this, it doesn't seem to be so much of a remez. Because he married Avishag, it's interesting. It's certainly interesting. The relevance of the Haftarah. So, yeah. So Tzaddok has two different mahalchim. I think I'll do the second first, and maybe only the second. I have to say. But the second mahalach is that he says, Bechal, it's interesting that David HaMelech doesn't seem to have given any teichacha to Adoniyo, his son Adoniyo. He didn't say anything to him. He didn't say, what are you doing? You're feasting, you're this thing. So Adoniyo was also right to be the Melech. He could have been. He has three letters of Hashem's name in his right. Adni, Hashem Adni, and three letters of right. His letters of Adni and three letters of Avai Kevav. He said the thing here is the problem with Adoniyo. He says that he put himself. He says he felt he was the king. He felt like he was qualified. He said, "Oh, I'm the king. I'm holding. That's the problem." And it says, Avram Avinu, you contrast him to Avram Avinu, he said, and you start to see the shaykhs to this parsha. Then you start to understand how this parsha is relevant. Right? Avram Avinu, he said he didn't know how many shunos he had. He didn't know what's called in the sign, what he managed, he passed, he didn't pass. Hashem gave him a bracha, bakol, you don't have to go back to the shunos, we're done with this. Right? He said, Adoniyo felt very much like a gaiva. He would misnaseh to be the melech. Oh, he picked himself up. He'll be the melech. He was misguided. So that made him lose any possibility of being king. It's all gone. He said the main way of being a proper vehicle to being the melech, possibility of being a melech, is through this knowledge and understanding. He has nothing. You have nothing. Like the moon. Just have nothing. You know nothing. You have the Bechira of Malchus. You don't know that, you're done. Like Avram Avinu. No guy, all these nisyonos, all this stuff. That's the medrash, the beautiful medrash at the end of last week's parsha. And we say this every day, right? Those who say kabbalas anyway. But it says that they keep saying they went together. Beautiful medrash. They went together. Avram and Yitzchak were going up to the mountain. Parshas, Avram knows what's going on. Yitzchak doesn't know. It says they went together. The medrash says Avram was just as Leiv Shalom as Yitzchak. Then he tells them what happened, and they went together. Yitzchak was the same. And they come back together. Everything, and they're the same. No guy, but no. Very, very powerful. Very beautiful. How chazak they were. That's their meter. That's their koach. Adoniyo was not zoche. I said, and that's why the Zohar says a remez. Dafkin Sarah's name, Mea Shana. 100 shana is singular. Sheva shonim, plural, bigger than shana. So Zohar says we learn from this an important yisod which every Musa Sefer in the world brings. Man di'ir zeir ihu RAV. Someone who is diminished in his own eyes, he's great. Man di'ir RAV ihu zeir. If you know, you feel you're very great and big, you are diminished. No big deal. No shaykhs. You think you're so great. Listen, you're again like you lose it. You totally lose any possibility of doing what you need to do. You're so full of yourself. No space for Hashem. Oh. So that's Dafka, a remez in Sarah's name. He said because a person has to know, he has to realize, you are born of a woman. He's Yilud Isha. That's what I said. You're born. A woman bore you. So she was a tremendous tzaddik. She was perfect in every way. Yes, sort of like the Rav Hirsch says, right? 100 to 20 to 7. She didn't feel wiser than 20, and she didn't feel. She had the beauty and the simplicity and the tmimus of a 7-year-old, a child, like very simple, like very But that's how he explains it. But actually, the idea is that you have to know you're Ludisha. Person, he's not like the Malachim said. What's this Ludisha doing here? What are you doing here? It's why Dafka and Sarah. Because I've always understood, like I'm just, this is who I am, and that's part of why, like the Ramak says, part of why being married is mashna a person, because he starts to realize it's not just about me. When you're alone, you can do whatever you want. When you're not alone, you're totally b'das acherim. That's not, that's a very big segula for another. You're totally b'das acherim. It's a segula for another. Person's alone. It's like, what? I feel like going. I want to take a trip. All right, where are we gonna go? I'll go here. He goes with a friend. Don't want to go? Doesn't go. With his wife, it becomes a totally different matzav. She wants this. You do want. You don't want. You should. It becomes a different thing. That's like the Ramak says, the person told before he's married, Zichri's not shalim. And again, like I always say, this is a pashta thing. It doesn't mean that the person has no shleimus, meaning he's less shalom than some guy who's married who maybe is not so shalom either. The idea is a person to begin achieving shleimus, he needs to be married because that makes him, maybe he's much bigger than his first friend, for whatever reasons. Maybe he's on a different level. We don't know what level a person's really on. We don't know his challenges. We don't know what he went through, how much difficulty he overcome, and what is kachs nefesh. We don't know anything about it. So it's really hard to make a real equation of where you're really holding. Right? You don't really know where you're really holding. But the point is, we want to be zoche to get to a place where we're connecting in the right way. We're connecting in a manner that we understand. Listen, I don't have anything. All this is not me. It has nothing to do with me. You wrote a book, you didn't write a book, you wrote this, you did that. It's not you, it's nothing to do with you, it's from Hashem. And you have to realize also, the minute I'm open up and I'm waiting for Hashem Yeshua, He's for sure going to help, it's sure going to happen. Just wait and hold on and yearn. Don't forget to yearn. Keep the yearning happening. Right? So that's why the Torah warns a melech. Do not let your heart become exalted or higher than your brothers and the regular people. That's the only way that you can be worthy to be a king. That was what Adonai was missing. He was very great, but he didn't understand, he didn't reach true shiflus. Because of his greatness. Because he's so great, he couldn't get to the place of true shiflus. And that's, of course, the story with the Kutzker. Someone came to the Kutzker. And he said, I don't know, I have golden hands, I'm very smart, whatever I do, things happen, they work, it comes together, and I just cannot seem to make a parnasa. Can't seem to happen, so I don't know what to do. So Kutzker said, that's your problem. You feel like you have the ability to do the things. So Hashem says, okay, so do it. He said, you have some shlamaz, you can hardly get things together. But he turns to Hashem and says, I can't do this, help me find a way to make a parnasa. Hashem helps him find a way to make a parnasa. He said, when you turn to Hashem be'emes with the reality, He'll help you also. But if you're not turning to Hashem, you can do it. You can do. Like I always say from Nasim, there's only 3 things that you can't do. Otherwise, everything else you can. You can't do the beginning, middle, or end. Everything else is in your control. Not beginning, middle, and end. That's why he says the mitzvah of the menorah is preparing the menorah. theoretically a Zar could light. They might not ever let him do it, but theoretically a Zar could light the menorah. Cohen prepares the menorah because really you can't light it. Hashem has to do the real, what really happened, the heavy lifting. What actually happens is Hashem. Right, so it's like you can't do it. You just can't. So this is the you have to learn how to know it's all. This real shiftless. That is an incredible koach. There's a story, I forgot what his name was. There was a RAV in Tzfas, was there during the 8th earthquake. Some Sefer actually says that the reason why, today it's not Chayei, Baruch Hashem, but he says the reason why there was an earthquake in Tzfas at that point was because the reason chose to be in Tzfas, and because Yerushalayim was a little less, it was less convenient and harder to make it there or whatever it was, people were not really moving to Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim was pretty much desolate, and Tzfas became a teeming metropolis, and that was not the covet of Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim was Toveas El Boina. What is this? How do you not come to Yerushalayim? Now, today's Yeshua in both places. No problem. You'll be here. You'll be there. Wherever. But Echshloiyeh, every place is a Malach Chison. But actually, this Rav was at the earthquake, and he said to everyone, "Let's all." It's like the start of the earthquake. Let's all. They all bowed down. They just involved yourself to Hashem, and no one got hurt. And that's this incredible koach of like just total bittul and shiftless to Hashem. It's incredible koach. There's no. It's very hard to compare to this tremendous koach of another. And of course, I always say this for the Chidah. I don't know if I said this recently. I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but this beautiful Chidah. The Chidah says that we find in the Gemara Brachos, right, that Rabbeinu Kodesh was coming into a city, it's his hometown, and he heard Tzipori, I guess. Remember right? And Ksubas, I think that's what it says, if I remember right. So then he came into his hometown, and he heard crying from a house that had a devastation, and he said, "That can't be my house." So the Bible Musa said he knew it wasn't his house because he trained his kids, his household, to be have the right kind of midas. They wouldn't cry in such a devastated way. It's too much. Can't be his people. But Chidah says no. He says a different shot. He says because Rebbe's whole midah was anova. Rebbe said, "I'm trying hard to be an anova. People in anova, there's no such gvir zeres don't happen to them," which is again a very radical chiddush, an incredible thing. You know, the Kamana similarly says this idea of like a person you have a novi of shiftless, you really can do incredible things. That's a person of care. You have a melucha, you have a murdik kayach. It all has a lot to do with another. I'll just conclude with the moral that we speak about, this beautiful moral, the moral about Mash B'Legayim, Magbiyah Shefolim. He said that's a natural rule, that when a person has a gaiva, he can't, like, the normal way is because we're created by Hashem, we should be like a magnet, just drawn up and picked up to higher and higher because we're coming to Him. But the minute it's become the gaiva, so it's about you, so that sort of disconnects you. Because it's you, you're I'm the one, so then you fall down. That's why he says a natural rule. Mash B'Legayim, a person who has arrogance gets thrown down. It might be a Shefalim, a person who has shiftless gets lifted up. Hashem Shas Bizoche to a nova mitzvah. Mamish like Rav Tzaddok is saying here, mamish the exact thing, and that's again the basic of Rome we always talk about, right? The basic of Rome says a person, gaiva is the hardest thing to deal with because the more malice you have, the more reason you have to be about gaiva. Usually you have gaiva, so you learn Torah, you usually have an aver, you learn Torah, like, listen, this is stira, this is not right, you feel inspired, you feel strong, you're able to overcome. The gaiva, like, I know another mistake, it's like, it's a problem. It's a very difficult to overcome. Hashem Shos Bizoche, to return to Him and to Bizoche, to Anova and Shifos Amitis and Melucha Amiti in the right way, the right